Welcome back to the fifth session of this Unit 5. So here we are going to look at the bargaining activity and the tactics that needs to go with it. So as I indicated earlier on, every bargaining activity, the both parties should have the tactics. Tactics is the approach or the move upon which you'll be able to realize your objectives, upon which you intended to visit that agreement agenda. So there should be that tactics, because tactics without or strategy without tactics is a noise before defeat. If you don't have any tactics, there's no way you can actually implement anything. So after completing this session, we should be able to define bargaining power, identify and explain the four bargaining tactics, explain the role of the bargaining tactics in the collective bargaining process. So bargaining power, generally, bargaining is thought of in terms of economic power through strikes and lockout. So the bargaining power generally, if you say bargaining power, is through the terms of economic power and through strikes and was lockout. So the bargaining power of the employees to actually go on strike or the lockout. Bargaining power is regarded so important negotiation aspect. Bargaining power, is regarded so important negotiations. Experts believe that to consider labor management negotiation without considering the potential use of power by either side and the influence of the potential use of the power on the negotiation process, and is to have a naive and erroneous notion of the bargaining power. Yes, of course. Now, the four bargaining tactics. So we have the distributive bargaining tactics. We have the integrative bargaining tactics. So the distributive bargaining tactics is that the most common and what the public minds most associated with. So the distributive bargaining involves economic issues such as wages and benefit determination, which are central to a collective. So normally, one of the things that we can use with the tactics is to go with this distributive bargaining tactics. So the distributive bargaining power, and we are saying that the most common and what the public minds most associated with is the distributive one. Then we have the integrative bargaining. This tactic is also known as the cooperative bargaining, as it seeks to solve problems that is to parties' joint advantage. So here they just try to resolve the issue in there. Unlike the distributive, where here they try to seek every of the parties will try to seek their gain. Here it's not like that. They try to resolve the problem that actually brought forth the bargaining. So one of the tactics they can use is to try to resolve the issue. Now the intra-organizational bargaining. So this negotiation activity aims at resolving internal conflict, achieving labor management consensus. So they try to resolve the internal conflict. So the tactics for bargaining, so trying to resolve the internal or the intra-organizational conflict. That's the internal conflict that exists within the organization. And the attitudinal bargaining. This negotiation activity involves influencing the basic relationship between the parties to maintain smooth and harmonious industrial relationship. So attitudinal, trying to, draw a thin line between what is causing the behavior that is causing this conflict within the organization. So you are trying to influence those behaviors of those parties to be able to ensure that there's a smooth and harmonious industrial relation that exists between the employer and that of the employee. So this is basically what you are supposed to know: the bargaining power, the distributive, the four forms of the distributive, the integrative, the intra, and then the attitudinal bargaining strategy tactics. Thank you very much.